In this video, you'll learn about the var, let, and const variables and the different rules that they are bound to. Let's start with the var keyword. I've typed some example code that is currently commented out, but we'll go through it one point at a time. A variable declared with the var keyword can be accessed before initialization as long as the variable is eventually initialized somewhere in our code. To confirm that, let's try to console log a variable that hasn't been declared or initialized. I type console.log and then user in parentheses and click the run button. This returns reference error user is not defined, which is probably expected. However, suppose I use the var keyword to declare the variable user as my last line of code and rerun the code. Notice that undefined is output but no error. This means that the JavaScript engine continues to run. Let me clear my window here, and another thing to know about the var keyword is that we can declare and redeclare the same var variable without errors. Let me uncomment lines 9 to 13 in my code to demonstrate. Notice that each line uses the var keyword to repeatedly declare the user variable and assigns it to a different string value, Mary, Joanna, and finally Mark. I'll comment out line 15. When I run my code, it outputs the first value, undefined, and then the value of the latest reassignment, in this case, the string Mark. Next, let's move on to the let keyword. A key difference is that you cannot access a let variable before declaring it. For example, in lines 4 and 5, suppose I run a console log on the user variable as our first line. In that case, I get the reference error cannot access user before initialization. What we can do, however, is declare an unassigned variable with let. Running a console log by uncommenting lines 8 and 9 works without problems and returns undefined. However, once you declare a variable with let, you cannot redeclare it. Trying to do so by uncommenting line 12 will produce the error, syntax error, identifier user has already been declared. While you cannot redeclare a let variable, you can reassign it. For example, notice lines 8 and 15. Initially, it is set to undefined and then to the string value of Anna. Now if I run my code, notice that undefined is output first, followed by the string Anna. Finally, let me switch tabs again to demonstrate the const keyword, which is the strictest. A const variable must be initialized. For example, on lines 4 and 5, you get the syntax error missing initializer in const declaration. Next, let's comment out lines 4 and 5 and uncomment lines 8 and 9. As you can see, you can't access a const variable before initialization or else you'll get a reference error. Next, uncomment line 9 as well as line 12. A const variable can't be redeclared as it throws the type error assignment to constant variable. Okay, and that's it for this video comparing variable declaration using var, let, and const. It might seem confusing at the beginning to know which type to choose. Try to remember it like this. The var keyword is the most lenient, while the const keyword is the strictest. The best choice in use usually depends on whether or not you will be reassigning values. In modern JavaScript, I'd advise you to pick either let or const based on whether they'll be reassigned or not. Why not give it a try in your own practice code?